The golden hour light filtered through the glass towers of downtown Manhattan as Lily Chen finished her 12-hour shift at Mount C Hospital. At 26, the pediatric nurse had dedicated her life to caring for others, often putting her patients' needs before her own exhaustion. Walking through the bustling financial district toward the subway station, Lily's blonde ponytail caught the evening breeze as she checked her phone for messages. The street hummed with the usual symphony of city life, honking cars, distant sirens, and the conversations of people heading home from another day of pursuing their dreams in the city that never sleeps. That's when she heard it, a sound that made her nursing instincts immediately alert. Somewhere behind the normal urban noise was a child's cry, not the ordinary fussing of a tired toddler, but the distressed wail of someone who needed help. Lily turned around, scanning the busy sidewalk until she spotted the source. Near the entrance to a gleaming office building, a little girl who couldn't have been more than 4 years old sat on the concrete, her small body shaking with tears. Her pink floral dress was torn at the knee, and even from a distance, Lily could see the scrape on her leg that was bleeding through her white tights. Without hesitation, Lily hurried back toward the child, her medical training automatically assessing the situation. The little girl had obviously fallen, but more concerning was the fact that she appeared to be completely alone on one of the busiest streets in Manhattan. "Hello, sweetheart," Lily said gently, kneeling down to the child's eye level. "My name is Lily, and I'm a nurse. Are you hurt?" The little girl looked up with tear-filled blue eyes, her blonde hair disheveled from whatever accident had befallen her. "I fell down," she whispered, pointing to her scraped knee. "It hurts, and I can't find my daddy." Lily's heart clenched with concern. This beautiful child was injured and lost in one of the most dangerous places for an unaccompanied minor to be stranded. "Let me look at that knee." "Okay," Lily said, sitting down on the sidewalk beside the girl. "What's your name?" "Emma," the child replied, allowing Lily to gently examine her injury. "Emma Blackstone. My daddy works in that big building, but I don't know where he is." Lily cleaned the scrape with a sanitizing wipe from her purse and applied a bandage she always carried for emergencies. The wound wasn't serious, but her concern grew as she realized this child was the daughter of someone wealthy enough to work in one of Manhattan's most exclusive office towers. "Emma, do you know your daddy's phone number?" Lily asked, pulling out her cell phone. Emma nodded solemnly and recited a number with the careful precision of a child who had been taught to memorize important information. Lily dialed immediately, her heart pounding as she prepared to deliver news that would terrify any parent. The phone rang twice before a deep male voice answered tersely. "Blackstone. Mr. Blackstone, this is Lily Chen. I'm a registered nurse and I'm calling because your daughter Emma is here with me on East 47th Street. She's safe, but she's injured and was alone when I found her." The silence on the other end of the line lasted only a split second before exploding into urgent questions. "What happened? How badly is she hurt? Where exactly are you?" "She has a scraped knee that I've cleaned and bandaged. It's not serious medically, but Mr. Blackstone, she was sitting alone on a busy sidewalk. I'm staying with her until you can get here." "I'm coming down right now," the voice said, and Lily could hear the sound of running footsteps echoing through what must have been a marble-floored lobby. "Please don't leave her. I'll be there in 30 seconds. While they waited, Lily kept Emma calm by asking about her favorite toys and singing a gentle song she often used to comfort young patients. The little girl's tears had stopped, and she was even managing a small smile when a man in an expensive gray suit came running out of the nearby building. Alexander Blackstone was 38 years old and worth more money than most people could count in a lifetime. As the CEO of Blackstone Industries, he commanded boardrooms filled with the most powerful people in finance. But at this moment, seeing his daughter sitting safely beside a young woman who had clearly been caring for her, he felt more grateful than he had ever felt about any business success. "Emma," he called out, his voice breaking slightly with relief as he dropped to his knees beside them on the sidewalk, his expensive suit forgotten as he gathered his daughter into his arms. "Daddy, I fell down, but the nice nurse lady helped me," Emma said, pointing proudly to her professionally bandaged knee. "She made it all better." Alexander looked at Lily with an expression of pure gratitude that made her chest tight with emotion. "I cannot thank you enough," he said quietly. "I don't even know how she got outside. We were on the 40th floor, and I thought she was playing in my assistant's office." Lily could see the fear and guilt wearing in his eyes. "Children can be surprisingly resourceful when they want to explore," she said gently. "The important thing is that she's safe now." "How did you know to help her?" Alexander asked, still holding Emma tightly. Most people would have just walked by or called security. I'm a pediatric nurse at Mount C, Lily explained. When you work with children every day, you develop an instinct for when they need help. I couldn't just leave her here alone. Alexander studied this young woman who had possibly saved his daughter's life. Her blue scrubs showed she was telling the truth about being a nurse. But more than that, there was something in her manner with Emma that spoke of genuine expertise and natural compassion. Lily, he said, I need to ask you something important. Emma and I have been struggling since her mother died 2 years ago. I've been trying to balance running my company with being a single father. And clearly, I'm not doing as well as I thought. He paused, looking down at his daughter, who was now contentedly examining her bandage. I've been looking for someone to help care for Emma. Someone with medical training who could also be a positive influence in her life. Would you consider coming to work for us? Lily was stunned by the unexpected offer. Mr. Blackstone, I appreciate the thought, but I have a job at the hospital. I have patients who depend on me. I understand your dedication to your patients, Alexander said earnestly. But I'm not asking you to abandon nursing. I'm asking you to consider using your skills to help one specific child who clearly already trusts you. He gestured to Emma, who had scooted closer to Lily and was now holding her hand. I can offer you a salary that's 3 times what you make at the hospital, full benefits, and the resources to continue your education if you want to specialize further. More importantly, you'd be helping a little girl who has already lost too much in her young life. Lily looked down at Emma, whose bright eyes were watching the adults' conversation with the intense focus that children brought to discussions that might affect their lives. What would you think about that, Emma? Lily asked gently. Would you like me to help take care of you? Emma nodded enthusiastically. Could you put bandages on all my hurts and maybe sing the song you sang to me? Lily felt her heart melting. In her years of nursing, she had cared for hundreds of children, but there had always been the sadness of saying goodbye when their treatment ended. The opportunity to be part of one child's ongoing life, to help her grow and heal and thrive, was incredibly appealing. Mr. Blackstone, she said slowly, I would need to give proper notice at the hospital, and I'd want to continue some volunteer work there to maintain my skills. Absolutely, Alexander replied immediately. Whatever you need to make this work, Lily, you saved my daughter today in more ways than one. I trust you completely. 6 months later, Emma Blackstone was thriving under Lily's care. The little girl had grown confident and secure, knowing that someone with medical expertise was always nearby to handle any crisis, big or small. More importantly, Lily had become like a mother figure to Emma, helping her process her grief over losing her biological mother, while building new happy memories filled with laughter, learning, and unconditional love. Alexander had watched this transformation with amazement and growing affection for the young woman who had brought such light into their lives. Lily's presence had not only given him peace of mind about Emma's safety, but had also taught him how to be a more present and engaged father. On quiet evenings, when Emma was asleep, and he and Lily would review the day's activities, Alexander often marveled at how a chance encounter on a busy street had led to finding exactly what his family needed. The emergency call that had terrified him as a father had ultimately become the beginning of healing for both him and his daughter. And while Lily had started as Emma's caregiver, she had gradually become something much more precious, the heart of their small family. The nurse who had stopped to help a crying child had not only saved the day, she had saved their future. In caring for others, Lily had found her own true calling. In entrusting her with his most precious responsibility, Alexander had discovered that sometimes the best solutions to life's challenges came in the most unexpected packages. Every time Emma showed off her long-healed scar to friends, proudly explaining how my nurse Lily had fixed her up, both Alexander and Lily were reminded that the most important interventions weren't always medical. Sometimes the greatest healing came from simply choosing to care when someone needed help the most. Thank you for listening to this story about how a moment of crisis can become the foundation for something beautiful. If this tale reminded you of the importance of helping others in their time of need, please like this video, share it with someone who believes in the power of compassion, and subscribe for more stories celebrating everyday heroes. We'd love to hear in the comments about times when helping a stranger led to unexpected blessings in your own life or when someone's kindness changed your family's story. Remember, we never know how our simple acts of care might become the beginning of something wonderful for everyone involved.